Okay, back in track. So hello, greetings. Here's Christian once again, and I will talk about Planets Cloud today. So I have some things in mind. This video will be a little bit different from the others. This will be more kind of a react video. I will guide this reaction in the YouTube, as you see in the screen. Let's talk about Planets Cloud. And for you who haven't seen the video yet, here, go check it. Click in the link above us, okay? So now let's go into the screen. Logging into the screen, I will start the video and I'll have a react. So first thing comes the clouds and the title, the lights. Okay, let me just stop here. So what I did, I created an ambience. So I just did a C minor 7th chord to start with. And now I will add the E flat on the bass. Let's hear it. And then the D, acting like a passing tone to the B flat. Yeah, and then the A flat, G, F, also acting as a passing note, tone, E flat, D, clearly passing tone, right? And then the root. Now comes an interesting thing. Look, I add the 4th to the chord, changing a little bit the harmony, right? It's just like going into crazy harmonies. Sometimes very interesting harmonies, by the way. I love this. So now I go to the keyboard slowly, with the stars coming in the screen. And this drums entrance is very nice. And the lights following the rhythm. Now I'll go back to the cello, because I have something very, very nice stole. Beautiful melody, which reminds me a little bit of Rammstein or Morricone film. Very different, right? But it's true. Look at the lights, so beautiful. Now the counter melody, just emphasizing the harmony. Cool. Such beautiful harmonies, right? I'll talk a little bit of the harmony afterwards, when we finish this first impression. Now it's repeating on loop, so I took the liberty to come trying to make the people clap their hands. Come on, let's clap the hands. Unfortunately, there was no one there, so I was trying to make the crowd of a crew clapping. No, just joking. It was just like showing how the song would be presented live. If there was a public in there, then this feeling of clapping together would be there. And I just make a rallentando there, slowing the tempo. Yeah, and now comes the end with the stars. and the clouds. Yeah, if you want to check the other videos, it's here, you can click. And subscribing to my channel would be also highly recommended too, if you haven't done. So let's have another look in the harmonies, because that is the very special point, the key point on this composition. Okay, let's have a look once again. So first of all, I have this motor rhythm in C minor with a 7th, and then I put the E flat on the bass, and for me it sounds already this sound here, and for me that sounds as I have an E flat on the bass with the normal chord E flat major with a 6 major 6 would be the C. That sounds for me like this. Let's have a listen once again. Okay, so now I put the D on the bass, but the B, I have the feeling that it acts like a grace note, like a passing tone. It's just a passing thing, a tension that releases after when I hit the C. Let's hear. D. Now the C. That's the feeling of a relief. Now the B now on this looping, as I just have the motor in C minor and the bass, for me it sounds like we have the 7th on the bass. Yeah, now for me it's clear here, it's A flat major 7th 9th. So now on G, here on the bass, I have the feeling that this is just a second inversion of the C minor 7th chord. And in this time, this F on the bass, for me, has the feeling of a passing tone, going to an E flat, also the same thing as the first E flat, but now 1 octave lower. The D also a big tension that releases here on the C. Okay, now comes a very interesting point. Now I'm gonna add a second note on top of the bass, and that for me will change a lot the feeling of the harmony. The first note, E flat, I repeat E flat. So there's 2 E flats coming on here. And now I add the F going up. So we have on the bass D and F. On top we have the C minor chord. And that for me is kind of a feeling of the also a passing chord now. Okay, there's D minor kind of in the bass going to another chord. And let's hear this one. This one, here, particular this one, I repeat the F on the second looping, but in the first one, I went to C. So it's C and F, a perfect 4th. And this F now acts like I am in C minor, but I have the F, it's like a grace note that is going to E. But, let's hear. But I don't go to E, instead of I transform the bass now, B flat. This B flat, on top there is a F on this bass line. Kind of very interesting sound, right? Look. Now. And here there is this clearly A minor chord with a 7th and the 9th. But here, the last time, it was like a G on the bass. That was the second inversion of the C minor 7th chord. But now I add the 5th is the D on the lower string on the bass. And that's for me, I have a feeling of a G now. Like a G 4th 6, something like this. Let's hear again. And then also now, the first time I had the F on the bass, but now I add the C, transforming it on a F chord, like an F with the second and sus4, like something like this. It's a very complex chord, this one. And then after I go to E flat, also with the 6th, this one. This one with the A natural, transforming it on a D 7th 9 flat 4th 6. And this chord is very interesting because it has all the tones of the C minor scale except from the F. So it has a lot of tension because the D is on the bass and then releases on the C minor. Let's hear it. Okay, so I'm talking about the harmony, so I will jump this one and I will go straight to the melody, which for me has a feeling of a Rammstein and Morricone together. It's very interesting. Let's hear it once again. Pure joy. Now I would like to show you guys that you can do a lot with looping in the terms that you have a simple chord, just one chord, and then you make a whole new harmonies with just passing through other tones. And that's fantastic for me because it creates a little bit of dynamic to the song, which is very important to looping style because it repeats, and the ear kind of gets tired of it. But in this composition, I kind of approve that you can have just one chord, and if you change the undertones, the bass, you can change very much the harmony and the feeling of the harmony. So I hope you like it, and thank you very much for being here until now. So until the next one, see you there.